This is your yin and guided meditation. Let's start in a comfortable seat. I will be using a blanket and 2 blocks today. If you don't have props, you're going to be able to do all the postures, so it's no big deal. But if you do want some support, just make sure that you have at least a blanket, maybe a pillow. Feel free to turn your cameras on if you want, if you didn't get my little chat. No big deal either way. I prefer to sit up on a block. I like my hips above my knees, so that's always a great option for you. Allow your palms to rest gently on your thighs. Take a moment here to close your eyes. Start to draw the gaze inward, where we start to observe what is happening. Thoughts, the sensations, scanning the physical body. This is your opportunity to really invite everything in. You don't have to leave anything out. This isn't the time to judge whatever is going on. It's just observing what's happening today. And notice as you do this, as your eyes close, your breath starts to fire, starts to deepen, starts to expand. Yin practice is a little bit about meditation and stillness, but it's a lot about moving through sensations in the body. And we use our breath as the tool to guide us through whatever's happening, not only in the body, but also in the mind. I'll be speaking a little bit today about one of the 5 kleshas. In yogic philosophy, the kleshas are considered the 5 ways in which we create suffering in our own lives. The first is avidya, and that will be our main focus today, which is ignorance. I also just like to think about it as confusion, right? We're confused in our true purpose. We're confused. And how can we get beneath the surface of our confusion to realize that there's so much more to us than what's present in this physical world? And when we hold on so tight to everything that we see and everything that we feel, we forget that there's a vast ocean beneath. We are so much more than our 5 senses, so much more than we can taste, see, hear, feel, smell. They're a part of us, but that's just it, just a part. Let's start to breathe in, pulling the prana, the air, from the pelvic floor through the belly to the lungs to the upper chest. Hold your breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Feel it wash over the body, all the way out. Pull your belly button back towards your spine. And again, we breathe in through the pelvic floor, fill up the belly, the lungs, the upper chest, all the way up through the top. Hold in your breath. And let it go. One more time like this. Biggest breath you've taken all day. Notice the expansion from the inside out as you take it all the way in. One last sip of air. Hold your breath. Let it go. This time you're going to hold it out, all the way out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Seal your lips. Slow breath in through the nose, the ujjayi. Slow breath out through the nose. Let that be your focus today, this smoothing out your breath pattern, matching the length of your inhales to the length of your exhales. It always comes back to the breath. No matter what we do, it comes back to the breath. because our breath is in this very most present moment. The rest is either focusing on the past or focusing on what's ahead, but what's right here. Please know that no matter what posture I guide you through, that a comfortable posture is always available to you. All you have to do is listen to what your body needs and takes it, and take it. I'm simply your guide. This is your practice. If you are unfamiliar with yin, we typically hold postures anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes, depending on what they are. So just keep that in mind as we move through. And slowly just soften your eyes to open. If you are sitting on a prop, gently remove it. Coming into butterfly, so the soles of your feet come together to touch. Gently remove the extra flesh from beneath your sit bones. And I know a lot of times people like their hips elevated. If that's the case, you can always slip a blanket beneath your sit bones. Go ahead and circle your hands around the tips of your toes. And then with straight arms, we're going to focus on just flossing the shoulders a little bit. So pull your heart through, micro bend your elbows. And as you exhale, straighten the arms, tone the belly, hollow out, and then take your chin towards your chest. So not super large movements here, just nice and subtle. So inhale, bend the elbows, pull the heart through, lift the gaze. Exhale, straighten the arms, hollow out the belly, chin to chest. And feel free to close your eyes here because we're going to stay for just a moment, really breathing. So let your breath guide your movements. Just a few more. Last one. Maybe exaggerate the movements here as you pull your heart closer toward your screen. And then exhale, press down, hinge back, round the upper back. And then slowly, leaving your legs and feet as they are, lift up through your torso. Just place your palms on your knees. So grounded through the sit bone, take your chin down towards your chest with a long spine. So working a little bit through the neck. And feel free to just rock the top of your head very slowly from one side to the other. Not big movements, just micro movements, maybe an inch. And let the shoulders fall toward the earth. So gravity pulling you gently down. How much of our lives are our shoulders all the way up towards our ears, right? So really focus on not doing a whole lot with the shoulders. Just let them be heavy. And then very easy, lift up through the crown of your head and take your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching through the scalings along the left side of your neck. And as we hold, always feel free to close your eyes and come back to the breath. Gently take your left fingertips just to the floor outside of your left hip. And take a full breath in, so you'll feel the torso gently rise. And then send it all the way out. Notice how the breath moves the stretch deeper inside, bigger. Now, start to rotate the chin toward the right armpit and shoulder, and then gently further away. So you get a little rotation here through the neck with the extended left arm. Just very, very, very slow movements. We're not tweaking anything. We're not moving rapidly. And the slower you move, the more you can feel what's here, what's tense, what needs more prana, more energy, more awareness. Because where your awareness goes, the energy begins to follow. Just explore your neck, your shoulders, all the while rooting down through your hips. Now just pause anywhere your chin wants to pause, and take 3 full rounds of breath. Beautiful. Roll your chin back through center. Gently place your left hand back on your thigh. Give yourself a moment here to once again stretch the back of the neck. And then inhale, lift up through the crown of your head. We'll take the other side, left ear towards left shoulder. So you're actually opposite of me, so feel free not to look at me. Really notify the right shoulder to relax. It immediately wants to creep up toward the right ear. And if it felt good on the other side, you can extend the right hand out, gently placing your fingertips on the mat. Make sure the spine is nice and long. We don't want to hinge forward. Just keep it straight and lifted. Breathe. And then slowly start to rotate the chin down first, and then further away. Now I know you're probably feeling your hips at this moment, so keep the belly nice and tight. That way your hip flexors aren't taking a lot of the strain with the lifted torso. Now hold any position with your chin and find 3 breaths, big full body breaths. And slowly release your chin back down towards your chest. Rest your right hand on your knee or thigh. And pause for just a moment, coming back in through center, neutralize. And then lift up through the crown of your head. Gently take the top of your head toward the back wall. You don't want to dump into the cervical spine. You just want to keep extension here, just opening up the front of the throat. 3 big breaths. Feel free to hold on to your knees if you need a little more balance. So good, friends. Bring your head back in through center. Scoop up your outer thighs and plant the soles of your feet down. Take your fingertips behind you so they're pointed towards your body. Your feet are hip width distance apart. And your elbows can be slightly bent. We're just gonna slowly rock your knees from left to right. Just very, very slowly. Feel free to pause and take a full breath on either side if that calls to you. You really get into the piriformis muscles, which is the deep inside the glutes when you do this. It's kind of nice. So if you want to hold it at all, go ahead. Beautiful. Come into pause, neutralize. Press to the soles of your feet, press through your palms. Inhale, lift your hips for crab pose. So your arms are straight, and then send the crown of your head back. Pull your thighs towards center and activate your belly and your glutes. 3 big breaths right here. Stay rooted through your hands, strong through your arms, and be really mindful that you're not taking your shoulders up towards your ears, that you're active. Actually, we'll give it 2 more. 2 more breaths. Feel a little heat build. Gently take your hips down. And then push yourself forward. We'll meet in forward fold, where we'll come into ragdoll. So I personally like my feet hip width distance apart, but I know some people like theirs a little wider. So take what you need here. Just make sure all 10 toes are facing forward. Find an easy bend through your knees, and then let your torso fall. So we're gonna be here for about 3 minutes, friends. So it's important that you're kind of in it, knowing how long we'll be here. So if you want your hands just touching the mat, that's okay. Or if you want to interlace opposite palm to opposite elbow, that's fine too. With the knees bent, the belly has a connection to your thighs. You want that. And then the more you take your breath out, the deeper the fold becomes. Feel free to take some big breaths and gently lift your torso, and then on your exhale, fold deeper. This is so much about the exhales here because we are tapping into Apana Vayu, which is downward breath energy, where we can release, we can let go, we can surrender instead of holding on to all that anxiety, all the worry, all the stress that we find when we're worried about past or future, what's here in this very moment. That's the thing about a video or confusion, is that it blocks the pleasure or the joy that we can find in this very moment because we're so worried, so focused on what it is that we don't have or what it is that we don't understand. And what's our true purpose? Close your eyes if they're not already there. Trust in the balance and strength of your body to hold you, to be here for you all the time. Make sure there's a little bit more weight in your toe mounds. It's like I could slide a piece of paper beneath your heels. And feel how as gravity pulls you toward the earth, your spine gets longer. These deep compressions are so good for our vital organs in the belly, the liver, detoxifying, cleansing, moving energy, releasing stagnant, stuck places. Now, if you find the sensations are intense, We certainly don't want any pain in yin, but they can be intense the longer we hold things. Just come back to the breath. Let it move you through whatever initial suffering or sensation you might be feeling. Last full minute here. Three full rounds of breath. Even take enough to pause at the top of the inhale and pause at the bottom of the exhale to feel the spaces between the breaths. So amazing, everyone. Slowly, you'll transition into a squat. So just drop your hips towards your heels. And maybe your squat's wide, maybe your squat's narrow. I'll let you decide. The squats can look a lot, very different in everybody's body, depending on what it is that you need. If you'd like to round the upper back, you can take your chin towards your chest. I like to rest my armpits on my knees for a further shoulder stretch, so that's always an option as well. Not here for quite as long if you were worried about that. But close your eyes and notice what the mind does when we're holding challenging postures. Right? That's really the practice of yin is how do we recognize what's happening in the body, but try not to attach to it in the mind. And we take this really powerful practice outside of our mat with us, knowing that whatever's happening in the outside world, how uncomfortable it might be, that it's always moving, it's always shifting, right? We don't have to be in that space forever. And it makes it a little bit more tolerable, a little bit. We understand it. We can step outside of it. And that's where avidya comes in. It's removing the confusion that this is our permanent place forever, because it's not. It's impermanent. Everything in this physical world is impermanent. So good. 3 full breaths. Amazing. Plant your palms, come onto your knees. Ooh. Take one leg back, press through your heel. And take the other leg back, press through your heel. And then just stay here for a moment in tabletop, resting the tops of your feet flat. And as your arms are straight, your palms are down, focus more on the belly breathing. So inhale, expand through the belly, just like a balloon. And then exhale, pull it back towards your spine. Just do that 2 more times. Inhale, belly expands like a balloon. Exhale, pull it up and in. Once more. So good. Now, if you have blocks, feel free to grab them. If you don't, it's okay. You can just place your elbows on the mat. You want your elbows just beneath the shoulders. Take your palms together to touch, let your head fall, and then your fingertips, or your thumbs rather, move towards the nape of your neck. They might not touch it. So important that your shoulders stay just above the elbows. And then you're going to let your torso kind of fall so that you get a stretch into the connective tissue in the shoulder girdle. Now, I like to relax the tops of my feet. I don't want them curled under, but play with that for yourself, making the focus more towards the shoulders. And it might take a minute to sort of finagle where it feels just right, where you can relax through the whole torso and stay strong and stable through the elbows. Close your eyes and breathe. And as you full body breathe here, you start to move deeper, deeper into the shoulder girdle, more into the armpits. Because if you take the exhales all the way out, you'll feel it. And if you take the inhales all the way in, you feel it in a different space. So play with your breath here as you hold this posture. The longer we hold it, the more you can surrender into it. Right? How much resistance do we have all the time? How much energy do we spend on resisting everything? And what happens if we just ride the wave? Right? Because these things aren't happening to us, they're simply just happening. And we don't have to be involved if we don't want to. We can simply observe. It's not to say life doesn't get down and dirty and hard sometimes, but we get to choose how much we're actually involved in our own suffering, in our own confusion. Last minute here. Feel the stages of the body as you hold the postures. Embrace the shift. Three big breaths. Very, very slowly, you'll press down to the elbows, plant your palms, and then lift yourself up to tabletop. Okay, so we're gonna curl our toes under for toes pose here. Yes, I know, it's not the funnest posture. If you'd like to find a little ease, it's nice to either sit on a block or to take your blanket here as well. But the toes are curled under. And you're sitting back on your heels. But we'll do some things with our arms, so I'll help you forget about the stretching that you're doing through the soles of your feet. Yeah, and I see all of you. I know. Just breathe. And if you have to come out of it, you have to come out of it. You know, honor your body. Inhale, reach the arms high. Lift, lengthen through your fingertips, stretch through your side bodies. Exhale, turn your palms down and arms release. We'll keep that up. Palms face the sky. Inhale, lift. Palms face the floor. Exhale, release. Keep it moving like this. Feel free to close your eyes. Just two more. So good. Last one. Now we're going to take eagle arms. So right arm underneath your left. And then you can either grab your left wrist with your right hand or your palms can come together to touch. Pull your elbows down, but draw your shoulder blades back. Can you focus on something other than your feet? Steady the mind. Calm the breath. Release the eagle arms. Inhale, open up nice and wide. We'll take the other side. Exhale, left arm in front, or left arm on the bottom rather, right arm on top. And you can either take the left hand to the right wrist or just palms together to touch. Now pull your elbows down, draw your shoulder blades back. Steady the focus. Calm breath pattern. You've still got this, totally. So much stronger than you think. And release the hands. Inhale, open up nice and wide. You've got it. Release the hands down. Release the feet. Rest back on your heels for hero's pose. And this time we'll simply take the arms up, interlace your fingers, and then stretch the palms toward the sky. So pull your shoulder blades up towards your ears this time and then soften them down. Do that once more. Inhale, lift your shoulder blades up. Exhale, soften down. Now keep it somewhere in the middle. So not so lifted, not so pulled back. Breathe in. Exhale, side bend to the right, up and over. Maintain your biceps in line with your ears. And again, through the shoulders, with the breath, you're going to feel all kinds of stuff happen with the full inhales and the deep exhales. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, side bend to the left, up and over. Just breathe. So much extra circulation I'm feeling through my entire arms, elbows, wrists, and shoulders. I hope all of you are as well. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale, slowly release the hands down. Now press yourself up to standing on your knees. We're going to take a gentle back bend here. If you have a block and you'd like to place it between your inner thighs, it's a great option. Pull your thighs to center, so you're going to squeeze your block. I like to keep the tops of my feet flat, but you're always welcome to turn your toes under. It's just more support through the knees, so find out what works best for you. Squeeze your block, press your pubic bone forward. We're just gonna move into camel pose. Take your hands behind you. You're gonna scoop up the low booty. So instead of taking your hands to the low back, I want it underneath your butt cheeks. Before we move into the back bend, pull your elbows back and then towards center. Feel what that does to the front of your chest, and it connects your shoulder blades together behind the back of your heart. Okay, so your legs are strong. Now tone your low belly. Continue to reach your elbows back. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, slowly push your hips forward and lift your gaze. Now we're here for just a full minute, not super long. Continue to pull your thighs through center. Tone in the low belly. Keep the lift through your torso and ease through your breath. I don't want your shoulders creeping up towards your ears, so continue to draw your elbows back and in. Remember to take what you need. Three full rounds of breath, friends. Very slowly you'll come out. You'll press your hips slightly back, lift up with the crown of your head, release your hands, and rest your hips back towards your heels. Give yourself a moment here, palms on your thighs, eyes closed. To notice, to feel the power of those back bends. The release and ease of tension through your arms, hands, elbows, shoulders. Our arms are really this gateway to the lungs, all connected to the heart space. Maybe you feel a little more freedom and space in that area of your body. Take your eyes gently open and find your way into child's pose. Hips to heels. Your knees can be wide or they can be closer together. There's no wrong there. Arms extend. Rest your third eye down. Find a little gratitude here for taking this time out of your day to honor your body, to expand not only your mind, but your breath. I'd love to read a sutra, yogic philosophies. It's an ancient text, the sutras are. Patanjali has, he wrote this amazing guideline for yoga. Anyway, this is from book 2, verse 5. It's regarding ignorance or avidya, confusion. It says, ignorance is regarding the impermanent as permanent, the impure as pure, the painful as pleasant, and the non-self as the self. Only the light of understanding will remove the darkness of ignorance. The goal of yoga is not to obtain something that is lacking. It is the realization of an already present reality. And take a full breath in. And let it go. Press yourself gently up through your palms. Take your way to tabletop, cross your ankles behind you, roll over your feet, and then send your legs forward. Come on down to the back and make your way into child's pose, Ananda Balasana. So I want you to keep your whole spine on the mat. So from your tailbone to the back of your head remains connected. Bend your knees, grab for your feet or your ankles, your toes. Pull your knees down and then lift your heels up. Now the arms are straight here. Start to move the legs if that serves you. Just gently, maybe bending one knee or the other. Before we hold stillness, just create a little movement. And then settle into stillness. Slightly tuck your chin just enough that you feel the connection of the back of your head. And then pull your tailbone down. Keep the length. Close your eyes and breathe. Really notice the rise and fall of the belly with each breath. It's a very deep hip posture. You've got compression, but you've also got opening. Opening through the sit bones, compression through the outer hips. If you've moved back into shallow breathing, take your focus back to your breath and make them really big, expansive inhales and exhales. This is your opportunity to full body breathe. You've got someone here to remind you to full body breathe. Don't worry, I'm up for hire. If you want me to follow you around and remind you to full body breathe, I can do that. Just one more minute here. Relax the toes a little bit, right? Because if the toes are tense, it means the hips are tense. So just tell the toes to chill out and it'll travel up the legs all the way to the hips, allowing you to be more connected. More space. Three full breaths. Ever so slowly, you'll release the hands first. Just leave the feet for a minute. And then pull your knees more towards the middle and then plant the soles of your feet down. We'll We'll take fallen bridge here. So the soles of your feet are going to come to the edges of your mat. Ooh, that was a big rush. Goalpost your arms and then knock your knees together to touch. Let the low back just fall to the earth. There's an example of how powerful yin can be for our joints. So feel it, embrace it, invite it in. Moving into the twist as your body feels ready. Take as long as you need here in fallen bridge. When you are ready, if you'd like to use a block, just place it at the outside of your left thigh. And then leaving your feet where they are, you'll take your knees over to the left. Now your whole spine and back are still rooted on the mat, and your right shoulder is actually your anchor here, so keep it connected. Option to turn your head toward the right for a complete spinal twist of tailbone to crown of head, and just belly breathe. Activate your low belly. Lift your knees up through center, take your block, move it over to the right. And then slowly take your knees over to the right as well for a spinal twist. Option to take your gaze to the left. It's your left shoulder here that's your anchor. Just really notice the difference in the sides of your body. Amazing, friends. Tone your belly. Lift back up through your knees. And you can pull your thighs towards your belly this time. Wrapping forearms around your shins. Feel free to tuck into a tiny ball. And you'll slowly make your way into Shavasana or any other comfortable posture that you desire for our guided meditation to finish class. Guided meditation is a form of Tantra. It is not sleeping. It is not concentration. It is opening the inner chambers of your mind. You step down into the internal dimension of your consciousness. Even if you do not understand anything, it doesn't matter. The sound of my voice acts as a rope. Just as you take a rope and go in and out of the depth of a cave, so with the help of sound, you will venture in and out of the mind. Eyes are closed. The body is still. The mind is in a mood to relax. You are not trying to concentrate. Make no effort to control the mind. Become aware of your whole body. The whole atmosphere is charged with one type of powerful vibration. In this atmosphere, you are lying on your mat. Your body is still. The sound of your breath is very rhythmic and slow. Your body is in a state of relaxation. Go into your body. Go into your own body and become aware of your prana, or life force. The life force, which is in the form of heat. You are aware of yourself. You are aware of a kind of heat. You are aware of a comfortable sensation. Become aware of your prana, the life force. Experience prana as heat. Experience it through the whole body. Concentrate on your navel, a golden cord projecting upwards from your navel. At this end of the golden cord is your physical body. At the other end of the golden cord is your transparent body. Try to see it. Try to see the transparent body. See it without distinction of eyes or other organs. Try to see the physical body as distinct from the transparent body. The physical body may be smoky, or else it may be well defined. See both the physical body and the transparent body floating above it, connected by a shining golden cord attached at the navel. Become aware of your own self. Look to your own self. Look to your own self as you would look in a mirror, or as I look at you, or you look at me. Look to your own self and look to your own aura. Look at yourself from different angles. from the front, from the right, from the left, from the top, from below. Find out your own aura and see whether it is yellow, pink, red, purple, brown, green, black, white, blue, or violet. Become aware of yourself. Find out by asking yourself, am I aware of myself? Am I asleep or awake? See your whole body from top to toe as clearly as I see it. Try to see your body by being outside it. Ask yourself, am I this body? The body that is eventually going to die. Now look at your senses, the 5 senses by which you know this physical world. Ask yourself, am I these senses? The senses that die with the body? Now try to become aware of yourself. Look to the mind by which you understand yourself and the world. Ask yourself, am I the mind that also dies? Become aware of yourself. Look to yourself and become aware of your aura. Ask yourself, am I this aura whose existence is tied to the body? Look further. Become aware of the prana in your body. Ask yourself, am I this prana? Again, look within and become aware of the existence of your consciousness. Your consciousness by which you know that you are lying here practicing guided meditation. Ask yourself, am I this consciousness? Does this consciousness still survive after the death of the body? Look within and become aware of a golden egg in the center of your brain. A golden egg, very small, very small. That is the seat of your highest consciousness. A golden egg, very small, that is the seat of supreme consciousness within you at your center. Try to identify with it. Try to see yourself as the golden egg and say to yourself, beyond the mind, beyond the body, the senses, the karma, the nature, and everything that is physical, mental, psychic, unconscious, I am in the form of this golden egg. Say to your mind, I am that. Slowly begin to awaken your bodies with breath. Just begin by making small movements with your fingertips and your toes. Reach your arms overhead. And one at a time, pull your knees in through center as you roll gently over to your right side. And take this moment to rest, to feel, to accept the gift of beginning again, starting over, new purpose, more awareness. Gently lift yourself up to seated. Keep your eyes closed and place your palms together at your heart space. Anjali Mudra is the symbol of gratitude for this sacred space of transformation that lets us see what's beneath the surface of suffering that we create in our own minds. We are so much more than our five senses. This is just a piece, just a part. Let's end class today with one Om. Take a full breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale, we prepare. Carry the vibrations and the sound with you. Draw your thumbs to your third eye. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Such an honor to guide you through class. Until next time, friends, be well.
Thank you, Jenny. Such a great class. Thank you.
Thanks, Svetlana.